Hey, 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 good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, whatever zone it is where you are. I'm just coming on to give you a quick little prophetic burst of a word that God gave me this morning. I'm just so excited that you joined me. Hi, my name is LindaHembry, and I'm the author of What to Say When You Pray, Prayers That Get Results. And I want to just share with you what God has shared with me today. And finally, He gave me a word that was a good word, I consider, because it was for me too. It wasn't a warning word. It wasn't, something that I'm like, Lord, do I have to tell them that? So today, God wants me to tell you that it is your time. It is your season. He is redeeming the time for you. God told me to tell you that this is your time when He is going to reset you. He's going to put you back to where He wanted you to be all along. And it's going to make a lot of sense. Everything that you've gone through, everything that you've been through over the last who knows how long. For some of you, like me, it's been a really long time. So I'm excited about this word because it is definitely for me. So let me just and let you know that I do not have the rights to this music. This is Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers, and it is Seasons that's playing in the background. So let me tell you what God told me to tell you. He told me to tell you that this is your season. This is your time. I know that sounds a little cliche, but hear me out here. Colossians 4:5 says, it says, read it out of the word. It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. And so that word redeeming, that's the one I'm most excited about. That word redeeming is to buy up time. It's as if God bought time for you. It's like He literally said, I'm going to buy back some time for Renee. I'm going to buy back the time for Brenda. I'm going to buy back some time for Linda. I'm going to buy back the time for George. I'm going to buy back the time for John. He's literally buying back time for you because God is the author of time and He can do that. He can stop time for you. And that's what I believe that He is doing. God is saying that you have gone through the pressing. You have gone through the hard times, the tough times. You have been through it. And He said He's redeeming you. He's bringing you back to where He always wanted you to be. He said it's the act of gaining the right to time. So you're going to get back your rights. Everything that you feel that you've lost in this season, everything that you feel like you've lost over your life and you feel like it's too late, or maybe God is saying, you feel like God is saying, okay, or maybe you missed Him and you feel like that was not God. God is saying, you didn't miss me. I'm going to bring back the time. But you had to go through what you went through because there were some things that He had to put in order for you. And it's all going to make sense. It's all going to make sense. It's like when the Israelites were taken in captivity and they were put in Babylon, but eventually they got to that promised land and they were able to make it to that promised land. God is bringing you into your promised land. And that word time there, that is a kairos moment. God is bringing you into a kairos moment. That means it's a set time. It's already been established. That means it is your time. It is right now time, as opposed to chronos. Chronos is a time that's, in the future. It's going to happen, but it's going to happen sometime in the future. It's as if like right now we're in the spring, we see the sun is out, we're feeling good because the sun is out, but eventually the fall and the winter are going to come. We know that those are already established, but this is the kind of time. It's like that. It's like when you get ready to take a flight and you book that flight and you say, hey, well, we don't use the phone anymore. We know we don't book flights on the phone anymore. You know how now you told my age, right? I remember back in the day when you used to have to pick up the phone and you have to call the travel agent to book a flight. We don't have to do that anymore. So you pull up your phone and you book that flight, and you know that flight is set for a certain time. So you know that you got to pack your bag. You got to get to the airport an hour or two early. You got to make sure that you are there because that plane is going to take out with or without you. So God has said He's already processed you. It is your time. It's your time to take off. He's already prepared you because He allowed some things to happen in your life that has made you prepared for this set time. So now He's already clocked it. He's already said, this is it. This is your moment. This is your time. It's like Ruth. Ruth said, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to go with Naomi. She's old. She needs some help. She can't go back to her homeland by herself. She's going to need somebody there with her. We don't have any money. Our husbands have died. I'm not going to send her out there like that by herself." And so she, after her husband passed, she said, "I'm going with you. Wherever you go, I'm going to go, Naomi." And she went with her. She honored her mother. She said goodbye to her sisters. And she was like, "Look, I'm going with her. Regardless, I'm going to stay with her." And guess what? She eventually, you know the story, but one night she decided, "Hey, I'm going to kind of move this forward a little bit." So yes, Ruth did make the first move. She went to Boaz's chambers and she laid at his bed. And that was symbolic for, I want you to cover me. I want you to be my covering. I want you to be my husband. And so when he saw that it was her, he knew she was a Moabite woman. And back in those times, an Israelite man could not marry a Moabite woman. So he said, she came in the dark. So he said, "Look, don't let nobody know you're here, but I got you. I got you." So he took care of a few things. He went into the city. He went into the gate. They call it the gate of the city. He went into the gate of the city and he made some things happen. God is saying he's making some things happen on your behalf. He said that he has already set you up. He has moved some things around for you. He has already decided that what he's going to do is he has already said that he has put this in position. So he's moved some people out of the way. He's set some things up for you. And now it is your time to walk into that very moment that you've been waiting for. I don't know if it's a spouse. I don't know if it's a husband or a wife that needs to come into Christ, but God said, this is your moment. And you don't even have to prepare for it. It's your time. It's your time because he's already prepared you. You've already been willing and obedient. So he said, now is the time. It's like, when Ruth went and slept laid on Boaz's bed, and he went into town. He talked to his friend, and he said, "Look, man, I can't do this, but I need your help. I need you to buy her husband's land so that I can make her my wife." So his friend bought the land of her husband, and then he bought it from the friend because he could not marry a Moabite. But once the friend bought the land, then she automatically became an Israelite, and now he could marry Ruth. So God said, "I'm setting you up. I have already set you up. I've already thought about what you have been crying and praying and seeking me about. I have set you up." So you might have thought that, business that you had, you might have thought that, it failed and there's no hope for it. God said he's going to reset you. He's going to reset you. He's already set you up. It's just like when you reboot your computer, you turn that computer back on, especially if you have Windows, and when you go back into Word, it'll say, "Do you want to go back to where you left off?" And you either click that button, yes or no. God is saying he's going to take you to where he left you off, where you left off. I think about, I was in this career one time, and I was doing really well. It was partially, I was in the mortgage business, and I was a really good salesperson. I was fresh out of the rookie school, rookie school of mortgage lending, and I was doing really, really well. But then I started going through a divorce. And how many of you know when you go through some kind of emotional, setback, it's hard for you to sell. And so, I was really took it kind of hard because I ended up having to leave that job. But God said he's resetting you. And during that time, I was really upset about that, but he reset me and I was able to go back and be able to be restored of all of the money, the time, the reputation, and everything that I was derailed from at that time. And I was able to get that back because he redeemed the time. Because you go through a lot of pain, you go through a lot of suffering. But there's a thing in the law world, law field, that says that the judge will, you can ask for pain and suffering, and the judge will then give you your money back for all of your medical bills and all of the hardship that you had to go through while you were, injured or whatever, and maybe you had a disability and might have had something that you might carry for life. But guess what? The pain and suffering is redemption. God is going to redeem you from that pain and that suffering that you had to go through. Maybe you lost a house, you lost a job, your child is, been out there maybe on drugs or something. God said He's redeeming the time. Don't worry about it. Don't spend any more time on it. He has already redeemed you. And then there's a thing called restitution, where in the court system they will also give you money for any future losses that might come up as a result of that other person's negligence that caused you to have to go through that situation. I remember a time when I got into a car accident and that happened with me. I was paid for my medical bills. I got a brand spanking new car, and I was able to take the additional settlement money and buy a house. Somebody's going to buy a house because of the redemption of time that God has given you in this time and season. This is your time. This is your season. I want you to type in the chat box, "This is my time." God has redeemed the time for me. God has redeemed my time. You got to expect it though. You got to expect it. And you can't sit around and say, oh, that's not for me. Oh, God's not doing that for me. I've heard this before. You have to believe beyond the shadow of a doubt that this is your time. Put that in the chat box. This is my time. God is redeeming me. All right. So I just want to leave that with you. That God has you on his heart. He has you on his mind. You've been obedient. And he has said that I'm doing it for you. He has not forgotten you. Don't you ever think he's forgotten you, because he hasn't. He has not forgotten you. So you are going to get an opportunity to be reset by the Almighty God. And I am so excited for you. So if you liked what you heard on today, I ask you to like this video, heart this video. I'll ask you to follow me and subscribe. And I would love for you to be in my tribe, be in my circle of influence. I would love to continue to share whatever God is sharing for me to give to you. So please connect with me. And I also have a free guide called what's my guide called? It's called Three Ways to Pray so that God hears and answers your prayers. Okay. So you can download that for absolutely free. And I would love to get your feedback to hear how you like that guide. All right. So God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.